Hi everyone, it's Teresa with Vintage Maine Finds, and I'm coming to you today with a destash of books. I love books and I tend to collect more than I can use. So I'm hoping that I can pass these along through my Etsy shop to all of you to enjoy. So after you've watched the video, follow the link to the Etsy shop so that you can look through the books and choose what you would like to use in your next journal project. So the first books I have for you were really hard for me to part with. This is Ed Emberley's Drawing Book of Animals and Drawing Book of Faces, and these are vintage from the 70s. This first one, the Drawing Book of Animals, was 1970, and I believe this one is 74 75. But looking from the cover, the pages are surprising. It's still all in very good condition, and the pages have aged wonderfully, but I think these would make really cool pages inside journals. I can see them folded, and flipping in the journal. They're just, the colors are amazing, and the images would just be so cool. I love that one. That's the older one. And then this is the Drawing of the Faces, and this is the one that I think has colors that will just pop. Look at that. How cool would that paper be folded in half in a junk journal? I just think it would be wonderful. And the faces are so cute. If you grew up with Ed Emberley like I did, it taught you how to draw basic shapes, animals and faces, and they're fun. He also has a thumbprint book, which I don't have right now. And then we have Raggedy Ann, a Thank You, Please, and I Love You book. And it's quite tall. Let's see. It is, let me see if I can get this in picture. 5, 10, about 12 inches tall. It's about a foot tall. And so these pages are going to be great folded as well. This is a vintage book from the 70s. And as you can see, Raggedy Ann and Andy in all their loveliness. I can see these folded down and tucked into some children's journals. These are going to be wonderful as well. So that's Raggedy Ann. And then I have this one. Now this is not for younger children, but I don't want this book to be discounted because it has some fantastic images for a more mature child. It's the Big Book of Real Airplanes, and again this one's a foot tall as well. Look at these inside papers. The colors are vibrant, the pictures are wonderful. There's so much information, but I always look at the papers as I'm going to use them in journals, and I'm thinking like these strips on either side could be cut for tags and things to tuck into the journal. Look at that. And these are just going to make wonderful pictures folded in half and tucked into an aviation journal, a pilot's journal. So again, that's the Big Book of Real Airplanes, and that's a vintage book from the 70s. We are all familiar with the Little Red Caboose from a golden book, and this is a foot tall as well. And the colors are just absolutely vibrant in this vintage book. And you could fussy cut some of the images, but I just think they would look so cool folded in half and used as pages and papers in your book. So we have the Little Red Caboose. And another little, that's not a golden book, that's a Rand McNally book. Mother Goose, a Rand McNally giant book, same size as the golden books. Look at these images. I love this. Yeah, this is 1968, it looks like. And this book is in great shape too. I love these images. And I love how big the print is and how cool that would look. Fold it up and put into the journal as extra pages. Love it. Look at her dancing. Okay, that's Mother Goose, a Rand McNally Giant book. We have a Little Golden Book. And this book is from the 60s, and it is a paperback book, and the cover is worn. It's been worn, it's been loved, it's been read many times. But, what did I count? There was 1, 2, 3, 4. About 24 Little Golden Book stories in this one book. Brave Cowboy Bill. I mean, these are the books I don't see very often, and the images are just wonderful. Of course, we all know the Pokey Little Puppy. I just think, look at this one, the Animals of Farmer Jones. These are would be so easy to cut out and make into tags to tuck in. These pages could be folded and used as extra pages in any of your journals. They're just wonderful. There's a Louise Wilkin. And some of these are ones that are hard to find, like this one, Fix It Please. I have never come across that in the wild. So, and look at this one, Busy Timmy. Look at how cute these tags would be cut out. Yep, look. Oh my gosh. These are so, so adorable. And they're already framed and ready for you to use as tuck-ins and tags. So this is the Little Golden Books, a treasury. And then I have 2 Babar the Elephant books. These are vintage, one from, both from the early 70s, I believe. Late 60s, early 70s. Babar and Father Christmas. Now this book, you know, it's in good shape. The previous owners put tape right here. But if you were using it for the pages only, I mean, look at the end pages. It's in wonderful shape. I love the feel of this old paper. It's heavy and thick. I didn't grow up on Babar, but I know he's a favorite of many people. I want you to see Father Christmas. Oh, look at him back here. Isn't he different? So we have Babar and Father Christmas, and then we have the classic, The Story of Babar. And this has a little shelfware down here at the bottom, as you can see, and at the very top. But inside, see, the bindings are fantastic. The pictures are great. These are great fussy cut images right here. They'd be so easy to trim out and to use. So if you love Babar, I have 2 of your books, and they'll be listed in my Etsy shop. Let's see what's next here. Okay, these are vintage from the 80s. They're the same exact book. This one has just been faded a little bit by where it sat on the shelf in the sun. And this one has the top and just a tiny bit at the bottom, has some shelfware. So let me just show you the one, because they're both the same. And again, this is from the early 80s, a nursery treasury. Baby games, nursery songs, dancing and singing games. As was an apple pie, story rhymes, lullabies. Again, look at these darling pictures. These would be so cute folded and used as extra papers and pages in books. I think this is one my sister may have grown up with when we were growing up in the early 80s. So, the nursery treasury. Now, on to some books that were just very hard to part with because they're collectors. And I could not bring myself to cut them, but I know some of you will be able to do what I could not. So this book, my Brimful book, I fell in love with this mostly because Tasha Tudor is one of the illustrators in a section of this book. She did the illustrations for the poems. Look at the end pages in this book. They're just, the illustrations are just beautiful pages and papers. So Tasha Tudor lived in Vermont, and most of her images, they just look like they came out of New England. And that's probably why I'm drawn to them, because I live in New England as well. But the book isn't just in absolutely fantastic condition. Look at that. Look at the mountains, the foothills back there. But even this image here, like, could be fussy cut and made into a tag and added to embellishments. Look at her collecting the pussy willows in the spring. And then a visit from St. Nicholas. How cool would this bright blue paper be in a Christmas journal? And then, of course, we have the other artists as well. This one did all the nursery rhymes, and her pictures are just gorgeous, just gorgeous. I was telling David, my husband, that I would have trouble deciding between Hey Diddle Diddle and Peter Peter Pumpkin Eater. They're both on the same side. They're just gorgeous graphics. And then this artist in the back, three little kittens. His are just dreamy, dreamy pictures of farm life. There's cows and horses and sheep along with the stories, and look at the hen and the rooster. They're gorgeous. So, my Brimful book. I did pay up on this, so this will be a little bit more expensive in my store, but it is so well worth it if you collect it or if you use it. And the same with this one. This is a collector's book from the 1970s, 1974. If you know this artist, and I'm going to butcher his name, it's Gyo Fujikawa. He is a collectible artist. Look at the end papers inside. They're just dreamy. And again, I just could not bring myself to cut this book, but maybe you will be able to. I could see the value in his artwork, in the pages, being used in junk journals for children. So he does his books by placing a full color followed by a black and white. And I just think that adds interest to the illustrations. Oops, there's the black and white. Look at how darling that cat is. I believe it's a man. I don't know. Maybe Gyo Fujikawa is a woman. No, but I really think he's a man. Look at Father Christmas. Look at him. So there's, something for everybody in this book. It is just beautiful. This one, I just thought when I saw this one in the middle that I thought every single one of those could be cut out and made into a tag. All right, one more, and then I need to end the video before 15 minutes. Oh, two more. This is another Gyo Fujikawa, A to Z. This one is from 2001. Again, black and whites, followed by colored images. Black and white. That was a little scary, but they're just absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Look at those children jumping. What great pages those would make in the journal. So again, Gyo Fujikawa. And this one is a Winnie the Pooh by A.A. Milne, and that is in Russian, people. This is a classic Winnie the Pooh with the Russian language. Everything is written in Russian. And this is how the pictures look in their version of the classic Winnie the Pooh. They're so different from our Winnie the Pooh. But they're beautiful. And it's in pristine condition. And it's a collectible. And if you can bring yourself to cut it, it's yours. It will be in the Etsy shop. Follow the link below. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you on the flip side. Bye, my crafting maniacs.